Osukwane Benenu, Kwani Trumpet, Nekeno no, Shukwenuko de Gete, and Ukwani Trumpet, and you don't know Ukwuani Local Government Secretariat, the Obiaruku Okpala-Uku, Ajede. Question and you didn't bell. I didn't bell. Makoni, Oniboni Kordo, Onibu Honorable Barrister Solomon, possible Ajede, Ajede, Osancha Marine, Shiana Chanye, Yareponi Ukukel. Kadishina Paul, the Kilani. Namoroso gegane ne onifepusan ne akpatonyu Ukwuani Trumpet beni Obiaruku ato yapse azizo na adini mi Obiaruku ato ono sancha morosi osokwani wonofo ordinary ni onyebu kei ya na che Ajede obiabrosi omeriko sochi ka sedido de nabani meye ogbalubodo biaji tibefu boka sonye kenu bonye na choso Ukwuani makonike ochone ke osamana jayilofu orba buru ke ya nwe shine pusa ya ka origine se kpo Ajede mbekuta nja sogo kra na agwa nwo kanebe sunu biko onye obune jikeje asa egwari kenu ne wafuna mar wafukwe onuruebo weku unamadelo ne shipsando ibenu ni ifanye chone no boranyi budo Ajede ndị na-agwasị onye kenu bụ onye ka ọdụ n'ime anị Ukwuani shambene n'elomini wọle nwe ye kpọkọfuku kene na-agwasọsa onye ọbụla onye Ukwuani ọbụla nọ n'isu akpati onye Ukwuani Trumpet ji aye ka oko jikeni na amụrụ sọsọ nụcha nọfọrị si nsogbu dị na-atụkwu sọ na itibe bụ ilawe keshede Ajede ya na-agwọ nsonoko jikeni chena ọsefụ ebe na bụ Ukwuani adịne kwa mari fenomeni Obiaruku ato neneti ono kwa tiesono bene be udo ne shede Ajede na agwaso onye obune chone kwa mari fenomeni na Ukwuani shabiko ko belu for YouTube channel ni Ukwuani Trumpet no fosu ji oma Ukwuani Trumpet ne chenefu ne so Ukwuani ko sanyicha ndi joge kana na agwa onye obune ne so akwati onye Ukwuani Trumpet chianwendide ko ne akwati onye Ukwuani Trumpet no force ife jeke mene ebe Ajede ne benye no bojika wo anekenu no ekenu na agwo no sonye ne bo na akworo ya bataw Ukwuani ba mama ne benye no bojika wo anekenu no ekenu Ukwuani ba yelofo bi o no fo bi kama shegwa
jeke keno so no chai for the minute feed. Okay, especially I like to also try to confirm if these persons are here. If you hear your name, please just indicate that you're here, please. Chief Onefele OJ.
Yes.
Okay, that's your name, right?
Yes.
Okay, right. Welcome, sir. Honorable Keros Onyuku. Honorable Dennis Kabi. Honorable Frank Yenefaso. Kenneth Ojimiwe. Honorable Mitaye Azubike. Mr. Rob Basin Chisono. Onutuku Odogu Dixon. Okay, some information. Mr. Marco Steven. Mr. Mike Ompolu. Chief Azaya Imweliku. Mr. Fred Sumobi. Chief Melo Kenegu. Chief Chicken Daffy. Engineer Loki Esmiki. Okay. I think we have a good number of that. So you can also check for this attendance. You need the attendance from the invite we give out. We can comfortably see that a lot of us are here. And I want to thank all of you for coming. And also thank particularly the Onotukus, our chiefs, our representative from diaspora, the youths, and of course, indeed, the OCDA, most especially my distinguished councillors. I can only see 2 persons here. It's okay. So I want to thank all of you for coming. Now, what has brought us here, they're very simple. And I'd like us to have that progression smoothly. Actually, while we are seated here, I need all of us to know one thing. Whether anybody seated here or anybody outside here like it or not, the Obiaruku clan is a strategic clan in Delta State. It's a strategic clan in the local government because of the fact that this is the council's headquarters. I want us to have in mind also that this place where Obiaruku clan, we have continuously lived as brothers and sisters, irrespective of what a lot of us now think in the recent past. So I want to plead with us that in the spirit of that brotherhood, in the spirit of the time where I want to plead with us that wherever you are seated here, as this discussion progresses, what we need here to advance us is truth and nothing but truth. To those of us that have had opportunity to work with closely or by far, you will understand that personally, I do not compromise Ishoku. I do not compromise it. I try to say it the way it is. So before we leave here, because of the fact that this gathering is basically premised on the Ishoku gathering, we will try as much as possible to accommodate each other. Now, when we are also speaking, it is important we try to mind our language. By virtue of this convergence, I do not want us to live here or try as much as possible to make your points without insulting anybody. In the nation, the mood of the nation now, it's not the mood of Iwu say Eta Kanekana Akosu trouble. Nobody did away. Every communities, every state, every local government natural make position anywhere so that they can be able to solve the immediate problems. As a local government, what we are doing from next week is to ensure that we start establishing our people visible establishment. Their family. And that is the mood of the nation. The mood of the nation is for the communities to sit down and think out how they can unite against terror. How they can put their strength together to see that they stamp out bad acts and all these banditry done by the dominating some places in Nigeria today. That is what communities are doing now. No community is wasting his or her time to sit down to begin to discuss issues in the community. And people are sitting down. That is not what it should be. When they call you people Atuku or they call you people Obiaruku, a lot of people in the time past, they try to look at Elunune Bivu when we take procedure to do certain things. But now it is not so again. So many communities under my watch, Ukwuani Local Government with the 9 clans. Upon my resumption in office, what I met in the local government is that there are 9 clans under my watch. And the clans are Umutu clan, Akuku clan, Bedi clan, Umukwata clan, Ezioko clan, Amai clan, Ezion clan, Umuebu clan, and Obiaruku clan. Those are the 9 clans we have. And so many other clans here. How they can be able to protect themselves. A few days ago, somewhere around in Abia State, where certain some women were kidnapped, the youths moved to action, round up the general area, where Bumbo, ne Godlas Webo. And on Sunday, kidnapped when I demanded for 10 million naira. They were able to rescue all of them among the kidnappers now. That is a community that is united. That is a community where everybody will come out and begin to say, how do we handle this? It is not in the issue of so many communities, particularly around Africa, are trying to look at themselves and set up a process that will push out the fortune in their community. I'd like to start. But here we have the majority of things we're having here. Equally, can we bring Jesus, Son and Apostle, and you begin to cause issues. Now, the first issue that has brought us here, I'd like to mention, is on the issue of security. Actually, I had the privilege of joining our dear leader, Senator Ukwuani, the immediate past governor, to consult all the traditional rulers in Delta North extraction yesterday. And I remember on Sundays and days in Delta North, of course, our 3 kings were there. The Wolf Mbubu, the Great of Ama, Lazy of his own. They were there. Then there were 2 other old men. No, we during introduction by the traditional rulers, we introduced the Okpala-Ukwu of so community. I can't remember them unless I play the video. But the Shiko Ebianibel, we didn't know land. Or Sundays is put to there where the whole Janjam, the copy of our is Okpala-Ukwu na Mula. Or if I put in the because we put the spokesperson, the spokesperson representing our leader, Okoa yesterday. Also, can you find in the bill? Or you next one more? Maybe the committee will better the commission idea in the video. If engineer is that even though from time immemorial, our traditional system recognizes rulership by gerontocracy. I know that there are a lot of issues that are associated with it. Because there comes a time in a man's life, it becomes difficult for him to process things. It is natural. Every man must go through the process. And on Sunday, Nande Kukune. Omori of Okpala Ajede, one time when we have some problem. No, we are going to Ukwuani. Erumebel, we should why some matter no one. Why yani je yaso ni je ku ime. O si ni fo paru kubana. Ojiwosu Bodo, no one never. Maybe when I share as council chairman, I don't go for Okpala-Uku. I am Okpala-Uku, all my even a minute. But the states there, Kito Oju said, Okpala-Uku she fake and go Johnny. She have you go Johnny. I remember for more than 1 hour, I made sure that I sat down there. Okpala-Uku Yamaru onye lady, Okpala-Uku no response. Those are some of the disadvantages associated with it. But there could be advantage where you have men of truth. That is the way a lot of us say. And it pains me that a lot of our people who are perhaps have traveled far and wide. Because even travel for Mosaife Lendo also no be. If you had a man who will be a mama. But you will you not be able tip off the word in Napanabachi. I didn't believe we build piano, not on the phone. We be so bad. Or Susie Chief. And you were quite needed that to you. That's what they were learning. The younger generation were the not turning no kiaka. Even though keep money, why don't they go? But no quite so you put on the does it mean that there is a disconnect between the name? Nobody can be able to see the truth. Therefore, having given that background, official I be actually kono no dey na zoku onyebu Okpala-Uku so many issues about Adenabia. Where in the for when they did Obiaruku sons and daughters and some other platform. Chairman and narrow, Kinan narrow. The police, Nigeria Police Force, as a council chairman, if any minibo I know in the police force, but when if they on intelligence, and they didn't need intelligence, Obodo need intelligence. Intelligence happy for your manufacture. Obodo na there. Obodo in the first defense line. Never was over the money, Nana Jene Akwande Chiulu, Shofifa Basobodo. But cake it and knife in a minute, Ukwuani, only in a kubu, or some machado and Ukuna, if I show me your job or Basan. Ogomanya go ne or some Matanala, when your job cake and I had a security meeting here a few days ago. And when the youth president now reported that Makwa says some few days back, Faithful is on drone, go fail in the Bani HO Primary School. That was 3 days later. That was the day it was reported. And I said, no, youth president, no food drone, not to drone girl, when you was in it. Or show him Makwa. But the first thing you will have done is to raise either you raise them or you mobilize Nicolo baby Kobudu. Nicolo be a different Obudu, we shall fool Obudu Adiki. Nicolo be a one issue na banso. Only no right in Boyu. So, but I'm going to hear the report. I didn't want to tell you. So, when you're in a partner, you will say before. Oku drone na njeki nene nyuboku na when at this runner when some of my officers I didn't want to tell you. But the truth is that immediately saw that there was supposed to be a reaction. Even Umusume community name is very at alert. Even that area there was no confrontation. Showing that one thing that came to me is that that's the first line of our discussion is with church people. In line with the security summit, and you wish I thought the way they choose the people that attended the summit were chosen from after Sabah level. They choose 2 PGs to attend that. I thought that when the PGs come back, because that is the instruction where you know, is to call all the PGs and inform them if we're putting in the security summit. But I'm very sure maybe they've not done so. I'm not sure if they have had the traditional council meeting where they would tell Ogwezi to go and take a book. So, but because I attended the meeting as council chairman, I told myself that every meeting that I have with the non-Achoburu, I have to brief them. Even the youth president of all presidents was supposed to attend. But in the case of Ukwuani, I got there, I saw the youth president of Umusume who attended. I don't know how they did it. But I thought that when he was supposed to go and meet Agbocha to call all the other youth heads. Obiaruku, the youth president, will not call us our youth heads again and inform them. The truth is that we need to sit up. There is need for Bodo to Bochafenyawe. Let us not sit down. If you think that, can I intention not to do that? I need to move looking. Intention of liar for Onotuku Skuluma, Yafonotuku Odoku. Yeka football anyway. Go to go to like a fashion. Maybe didn't meet him. So don't sit down. I'm doing what I have to do. All my security discipline, I'm following them studiously. You must rest your education. Because obviously when the Kuni Sabokeda order is correct in those states, it therefore means that we need to sit down. Didn't make sensitization. I called him the vigilantes and the youths was under both the PGs. I briefed them about a few days ago. I'm not sure if the PG or PG, the youth president before Lobodo, but I told them to go back to their community and sensitize them. Because the summit at Asaba says that all of us should unite against terror. Security is every man's business. If you see a bad person around you, when you marry or you will the first person, you team in the risk before you be on the risk. Because you can now monitor day and night. So I want to plead with us. We must take it seriously. It's your promise school. I learned that to get on the headmasters because I call them headmasters and the head teachers to talk to them. We should get day by that of Yongo near the Odogo place there. Gate. So I've directed them to see how we can replace so many schools with Gate in the Okwala Local Government. Buy new gates and put at least a security there. But the community need to take extra steps. You don't see that. Yes, I said when I come to this meeting, I must be able to talk to us on that issue first. The second issue is that after the security summit, Oku-cultism was on top of the matter. No more in data than Oku data baby. Can they you tell in there with a noise in data Oku baby? So that you will remember, because I know that when go to the battle and any Burundozo, where your name will contact the any Moeka, Najin Moloro, Najin Banifi. But how would they new learn yes, that there is need for us to go back because this is the community, this is Obiaruku community. Every vices they don't want now starting gradually from here. They didn't make animal on travel to Waga Township. I go Obiaruku. If you phone and you job of gold, we go Obiaruku fan Obiaruku. Between Iguifi or yours attack you, ya branch or Africa. That is why we are trying to sensitize our people here. The community should brace up and talk to our people. Governance, if you look at both Ndeno and Chanya, Kenyan and Chanya, all of us have a role to play. You continue to tell them, like if I tell you, Opokuru, Ndeno and join show them. I have given you, I have done my duty. It is left for you to know here or not here. As council to make me prompt Peshibion, she must be named Minife. You the man, Eliki Biwa. Another issue, Bundena Lankologo. If we go also that summit, I need to make hall unity hall because I'm a as council chairman. The NDLE director, Nasaba, the Neye report, Eloi Ferrofu. She, among the record for it's only Obiaruku, the old data, Kokulishi, often Muni Indian Ham farm. So when the boy work quick bow, so then they read the bill. Obiaruku, mention Obiaruku. Or someone can talk okay, commissioners, okay, everybody, possible, everybody. Where possible, let's say go there or this. You know that kind of thing everywhere. Yavizu Kwanye de Kakaku Bonideta. Beyond that, the thing now destroy our youth. It's destroying our youth. He made a succession plan now. Then I check it and I cheat. Maybe we can hand over the party. Bondoma no kunshi we bondoma ayamalitasine. One day we will. So we must deliberately begin to groom people. To succeed the leader, somebody came and said that there's need for you to struggle over. I said, my brother, that is not the process. The process is that you must get ready. You must prepare yourself. You must be a responsible youth. You must stay focused. I know as a matter of fact that Ukwuani Local Government, Obiaruku, we need more youth to the but there's need for us to rally ourselves and redirect our conscience so that we like go. It's a beautiful night and the only way to do it is for to propagate the gospel. If when you allow Jiri, you didn't allow Jiri, you have the difference. The only thing it does to you is that they let out higher. And they don't know higher. Now how can you call everybody we go in Nigeria? Because you can't feel like that. All clear fashion and is it not to so I say the high na high way again. And you cross and open in the fifi and you need to laugh now. But at the end of the day, everything everybody call it. So I want to plead with us that this is the forum I have to send this message across. For you to talk to our children, make it a deliberate effort. Call the use of each of the quarter. Born in the name. They are not doing themselves. No Sunday any word they can offer Lanipo, who will Lani Federal Lani. Only Lani, where the national Euro, the abuse of it. That is not the way to go. So I want to plead with us that it is important we talk to our people. Because of the internal report, not a rich maker, or the intelligence not a rich maker, is that 2 people have been reported missing in Obiaruku for an unknown cause. And Kodobo onye POS, non operating POS, ni show Obiaruku nebe. We kushwe kuna ifun J eku. Shiwe kuyoro. And intelligence non ilumeka is that whatever we look at that. Shiwe kuna. Chabe oloro. Just a phone call. We share she won onya usadini non trader din along Boku road somewhere around Modidi. She don't lay fried chicken and a yam. She was question on the phone inviting him. Shabab igoloko. She kogaren igoko ebeko toni. So if when they make it around, was she the style is when they use a phone call. We invited even no katai the week, because they call Abia from people, they're married individuals. So if you can look at Casson, so now there is need for you people to go back to our people and sensitizing. Always naked, na so you go. Bonye born you go naked, Abonye married, Babonye Jane and married. Kobula so when you married, Yade Pochalanya happen once in this. In fact, the whole geopolitical zone is what we are preparing. And we are trying to do it to see in the real, you will be able to start and continue your life from there. It's not in the way to receive a rise of Lego, the one Nicky Kitego, Irifego, love for person. That is what we are trying to do to address the challenge at the local level, in line with what His Excellency and what Mr. President is doing at their level. So I want to also help us, because as a community, we have our people in diaspora. Thank God we have the diaspora representatives here. This issue, it cannot be tackled by government alone. There must be collaboration. Even the travel the majority of the enterprises, the majority of the things in Afro are private establishments. We know that our people in diaspora are doing so much. But it is important to they join us or they intensify more effort to see how they can engage the majority of our youth. Because I feel that when we engage, we don't have the opportunity to begin to it's not an industrial zone. But if there is a call, you see that the temptation will lead the person there. So there is need for the community to sit down and begin to try to see how we can engage our people. That is what community leaders should do. It's not easy if you deal with what you not to do. When they not so not to go chief and all that, they also take for instance my late father. Ogwezi will go not to go in court when he go away. Or file me go say na manage money go come. Many jewelry pardon. And you jewelry are for some of your friends they put any contact. Yes, I look not to you can he show those contact or business guy or she mentioned the Piazzo and so okay, say this man, it appears that Togo to there. You can talk to him. He told me that before he died. So when I see the zeal in some of us, it's you won't anger, not file, need to stop us our because I know man, you may go in the court. What's the version of the 5% one quota is rulers. The law is that in the way any staff of office work at that is the law. We begged the kings with staff, showing our daughter and the other clans. And it was done by understanding. If you want to follow it strictly, it's not that once you have not given staff of office, that's the position. So I don't know. Ije okwu oshinu tubelo enyas. No gisere nutu na banu nutu 1991 1992 Ajede when sumike we robo sumike banu nutu we gbowo fu gbewo yi poverty. We niti Rugana we niti. How do we look at that? Last time we put we no so even subsidy ni okuchi. Mala turn the bufu. Then we can kini eke wu. Eke. Ibeketesha Imoga, the Omoga married the no balloon where you know okay, my father, okay, my father, a person tobacco. Sharon Chichuka, Neil Noyada, Benson is in arrange. Oh, arrange the woo, only woo, I do never. I have a little the blood making night. All she was at away here. So that is the only thing you will get. And if you it's not enough to do anything. I understand the pain people are going through to Chikume because of the structure of our traditional system. I know that you are so much when you are spending your money, your time, we're not doing or see if you didn't either for Obiaruku sons and daughters, we're killing no to be in our boy. You understand? But you go, in spite of that, you continue to do what you have to do. So I want to plead that there is need for us to stay focused. Well, there is a situation in the town. And the situation is that when I saw Okpala-Ukwu General Obiaruku. Yeah, funny. There's one video funny when Trumpet. You see an employer. You see what is the issue now? We share from Osu to Obiaruku installed an Okpala-Ukwu. Obiaruku Umusume. See, that is not the position. And we generally installed Okpala-Ukwu. So I said, okay, OCD is a recognized alternative. So if they make that kind of move, it's in the right direction. I waited for what I was asking myself is that, is it that we are about their own unity? Is it local government, their own unity, local government? If they are creating a council, but the supervisor, the council that we had here, even the king also will have a staff of office presented by the state government. When they have issue, we settle the issue here. Majority of them are also. That when should not be out. None of the traditional rulers will be able to reach the council and say that this is what it is. I said, well, I don't want to look at that side. That I need them to put it in writing. So eventually, I think they did put it in writing. But in between, while they were calling me, Onyebu Chief Nasco, the Alaji Samu called me and said that our people in diaspora are all ready that they should try to reach me for us to wait him. So I said, okay, Shadima, until eventually I had the opportunity to see them. And we spoke extensively. And one of their prayers from people in diaspora is that they also want to touch base with me. I think they fixed a meeting around 7 p.m. that evening on the internet. All of us connected. So many of our illustrious sons were in that conversation. And that meeting was chaired by Professor Atakana, who chaired the meeting. Our brother, the chairman of our people in diaspora, Oloye, Elton was in that meeting. MFNM was in that meeting. and of course Alaji Samoku, and there is one other Gideon Ishikwine, and then there is one other one again, our brother in the US. So a lot of them attended the meeting. And after extensive talk, I told them that I'm in the first place. I don't know what is the problem. In 2021, when I resumed as council chairman, the first issue where didn't look at the next week, the deputy governor's office under the headship of His Excellency Otuaru. That is Zuni home. A both Nebel, Johnny Yash Nebel, or not to go to Nebel, Noches in Nebel. Everybody is Can else on the job, everybody within the money. When they go meeting Ukwuani, I think Right Honorable Church was the deputy speaker. He was there. Honorable Commissioner Sir Fidelis Okemotilije was there. Osaje Zunigo. Those who drew Niki Chipe Obiaruku. Which were not easy. Which is easy. Ye all that is John Yashbe Ogwezi, which prison. We shouldn't even know who only son between Egun and Tom and Ronnie Kosai. We Chichichukunechi, we see chairman. That is your assignment. Go and determine who is the senior. Yes, the office may be an office with authority, but I know that as a young man occupying the office, and I tell you that exercise was so crazy for me. That exercise was so crazy. Because that exercise took us a lot of time. Even when I set up the committee, I have to take my time begin to visit community by community. My day target early morning. I can't visit late by running aside. Oshimwami Abiole, Biku Kakun Kon, the chief name of Abel, Mama Komanifu. But the Lord, Yamashi Morgan and Sigwe. Many are pari. I leave. Miasu Potoso. Oshu, when you look at Biku. The chief I was. Njeke Paibuna, Eguna. Wagolo na digo lifu papa chairman abiao ocho ni kofu yu osho kideni ya mwana ni paruka kwa kichoma. As early in the morning the man would tell me was she paruka. She made the kudu petrol late now. Who was is it the Okpala-Ukwu there or so? Nsi ndo sima mama le lifegani an no kun si no lo ibo and all that. Also came no ngam kwa fie no. Oku I didn't take from on night target because ya fa she omofoke. I tried to pick one or two things. But nje ke petrol na the end the story ku it will refer me to Paufikulu, it will refer me to Yen. Njokozo they referred me to one other old man. Then Umusume incarcerated. Sometimes I had to speak with him. He was very sick, with greater respect. And the time, it was not a good exercise. The time we consumed, and even the committee we set up. I told the diaspora people that I didn't follow the problem. I understand the migration, how you people came to occupy this place as Obiaruku. Go to Managana away from Jopo. Go to Managana away from Umudu. So on and so forth. But you people are here now. You are in Obiaruku clan. Before this clan can be divided, you have to go to government to come with another gazette before you can divide this clan. Even if you are going to be stubborn, it will not be this tenure. Nothing. I want to beg us. It will not be this tenure. Because it's only the truth that can kill all these 40 and China 40. It's only the truth. If you don't say the truth, we'll continue to tell ourselves lies. When they get to their time, they will be referring to okay, and they begin to Washington Ndaka. So where do you want us to start from? So when our people in diaspora were begging me that I should step in, you don't need to beg me. Even when you refer it to Asaba, Asaba will refer it back here. They will refer it back here. But I told myself that the only thing we can do to make this thing go. I promised them that I was going to call a meeting, and the meeting we would title it Meeting of a Joke. And that is what we're going to do. Well, we will soon begin. Then when I introductory speech. Because in Kunejoku, we cannot move on. If you want good government, if you want good governance, if you want good this, good that, the citizen must begin to tell themselves the truth. Don't lie to yourself. We have pressing issues, don't about that. Security issues. Our youth job order. A lot of things are going the other way. When they chi nelo brode, they don't know to go na chubu. Yes, in some people from each of the quarter man say they are very firm, and they will be acting with me as a jury. When I try to listen to every word finish, I will dissolve and consult with them. So I have a letter written by OCD. I spoke with the diaspora people, our children were in diaspora, who are so interested in the peace in the land. I sometimes I pity for them because there is never a time we make a call natural question to one or two issues that we can settle here. And they have job there, they have family. Even in Bafuni plane, she go US, she go Canada. Et là, sur le plane, il y a un adjoint qui est venu. Because you know, il y a un mari qui peut plane dans land, babeli, for hours in neighbor. And you know, one in answer, you what you did, you plane in the US and babeli. You can only dish in meeting. Because if I go around the motor and all the Obiaruku, Pepe Supiju, Equaquiju, Kitawakulu, Yaniti. Enu ko wade ya se buru fu wende dia se no buru we no beri wa bebe na bia no mo ri wa fi fe na no beri ka be wole ka bi fu buru e let's say things the way they happen. Meson di yoson onye na gara no le na ejita onye za ba ya chi no it was not custom. Let some certain people not begin to deceive people over issues. So after I finished speaking with the diaspora people, I promised them that I was going to call the meeting, but I still needed to move around. And I now moved to our senior brother leader, Sir Fidelis Okemotilije, where both of us, when I say the whole fillers in the Muse will say, "Iya na back in the Umusume." That I like to know the position. There's some end to. So she may not back in the today. So I need us to speak. Let us. We are the two people in government. Even when there are issues, including Chukwu Dafi, you know, even when some issues didn't get at that level, we will meet. So he told me that so it's not part of what is sweet. And in fact, he's not happy that at this critical time that nobody that is aware that there is a forum the Umusume created. And our people, some of them who are lawyers, then advise say, say, but what he will tell me that I'm the council chairman, that I should try to see how I can resolve the issue. And some statement, I was able to assuage his mind that the journey is not to begin to fabricate stories. If when your son in as council chairman, I will begin to preside over things to bring a album on Shabachi. Yamashi, if you don't know, but when I'm married, the African traditional system is that you may make off if you did Ghana. You boo you. So quit your Parkwabo, why Biana and I now. You're not now in Shigofran, no, usually not in Shabo. You have to know Belina, she she did Sunday, Omungashina Bogalini, Lani Mugigo. Yeah, you don't do that now. So there are sequences. Only for me, Okoki, Yakaleswime, Yamaleswanya can Ogwezi parodic or sign Egunatuna. And I have to set up a committee headed by late Pa Odwan Oseke. I went to Mejichoko to bring him. Pa Odwan Oseke was an upright man in my own judgment. He came and he did excellently well. You think that it's a young man. If you go say is to resolve this issue of Okpala-Ukwu, I don't know to be general. I do not want to feel that persons should come here and tell us lies. What will help us to resolve it is what we are going to discuss it. I don't want us to come here and find any man. I told all the security people to stay away. Let it be an Obiaruku affair. That is why you see that this place is an Obiaruku affair. But this time around, I told them problem. Because LB was a problem that I want to feel like I don't think I could tell the kind of I don't need me to be posted. Can't go find a job. Also, no matter what it is, no matter what the sun is in. Just not one them where didn't shoot. She be go. Olu ke Kenya Okpala-Ukwu. It could be so. It could be so. Or do the mess of it. Nakwafuwe now. Olu ke Kenya. But say mess on it. Because we will lock up. We are going on. Nothing to do now. Because we are going to resolve this issue. So that going forward, Kanyamarele issue now there. I would like us to get the accurate report. I've taken time to try to look at the issues, and then I need us to please kindly very brief and go straight to the point so that we can resolve. Hello, God, not go. They cannot sound more from Shegu. You are now leading the team who install without trying to ensure that you people have solved all other issues in the community. In the first instance, Okpala-Ukwu of Obiaruku is the Okpala-Ukwu. Okpala-Ukwu of Obiaruku is Okpala-Ukwu of the whole Obiaruku, not Okpala-Ukwu of a section. So before Okpala-Ukwu of Obiaruku will ascend the throne, there must be need that everybody is together. You don't do one thing part and abandon. So I need to get first what led to the first action before we not take what led to the second action and find a common ground. Please let us maintain decorum.
Yes, Excellency, the councillors here present, Umusume Obiaruku, OCDA President General, the youth chairman, all the youths here present. I'm the Ajede of Obiaruku Okpala-Uku. Okay. Making them to need a benefit of Ajede of Obiaruku. We said that before this meeting, we announced that everybody should silence his phone or off your phone totally. So what happened is that I had met him one Sunday. I do when I go to be in Umusume, particularly. Why be a meeting? So what is the essence of wasting our saliva, wasting our time? It was before the swearing in. Konyebu Chief Solution more people on the phone. She mentioned so Okpala-Ukwu is on Ayavoro. Then I actually your protest. It's not timeless. Your protest came of late. Even the letter we was in the office, although it was not addressed to me, they copied me. When you send it with Chief Ogwezi, who is the Secretary General, this letter only was of late. Soon like it was all these things, just like what happened to Ajede. So that was what happened. So can fake and belly. So the chairman's committee report during the council. The committee signed that document. But making when I'm actually one, never too lot. She even Ocheli was swearing in because I just want progress in this community. I'm not watching that Ocheli was swearing in. So okay, in almost he knows the boss side. That's Ocheli. But I did not protest. I kept quiet. If I was side, when they Gandhi, on one life, that time I saw you to tell you. Yes, for Ucheli. Yes, was in fact, yes, was approach of Obiaruku. But I did not protest. I kept quiet.
No. If somebody, please, let me make it clear to those of us at the back. If you cause trouble for me, I will walk you out from here. I don't have time for that nonsense. Come on. It is this time we say this problem. Let us listen. If you want to talk, stand up. I want you to flow. I'm saying no. The time Umusume will tell you, you see there is an okay. Yes.
Yes. I will come to that. I'm married one. She has son aya, but I went to meet my okay. So I did not bring that issue. So I did not bring that issue. Even when he was actually document also second. Wa fast as ya to kill neighbor. And on the jam no gakuma well no position like I said. Okpala-Uku is the most eldest person in the community. That is what the law says. Okay, the oldest male child. It is not the oldest male child, Chinimo. No. It is the oldest male child. That is what the law says. So that is that. So in this one, Onyozo, supposedly, the Kagrani sweating in Onyogo. Ayaboro. Onyozo pass okay, you start the entire Obiaruku. But my own person too, Onyozo was side. If I have Stephen, as always, you be. Or the one go, no bye. Or the one go. Or the nurse, he has a BSc in nursing, and he talks very well. But, you know, in 2021, when I moved, but only I came in 2021 till today, or it can be the so I married one, she was okay, general. When he made that document, they will see his name at the up there. Okay. But each of my Benjamin, who also want peace in this community, never came to protest. Okay. So Onyebo Okpala-Uku after that man, Oruni Bayafuru. Because didn't make the system. What if somebody no to me over back then? Yes, I want to round up. All these them check them, these that, or something like that. All my senior, but man, we're not church. But we know to before all of them. Apart from Onyebo, Chief Andrew Mabezi. The rest, only someone in this town as a chief. You understand? So, I might know and that is why we decided the entire Obiaruku clan, including myself and Odogu, who is Onutuku General, decided to swear Ayavoro in. And I am stating here that document does not lie. If the council chairman, I am begging the council chairman that document being prepared by our secretary and his committee is not known by anybody here, because the secret of ours is not known in the daylight. I am praying this honorable chairman, my honorable chairman, to get that document in order to solve this problem. So that Ogwezi from that document, she Okpala-Uku Sonaya, I will beg them and tell them sorry. Because let us install this man. But if it is not contrary, say everybody Umusume, let us allow the sleeping dog to lie. Let us put him. Only if I contest him, let us go again for impeaching. That is because Mother Zani, what Mother okay, was so pitchy. So then either way, say where we go. He will say that document, not an afu because he will say, because I am able to get that document, we solve this our problem. But document speaks for itself, even in the court of law. All right. Thank you.
Back to Obiaruku for this side. Only person who will or that represents my position.
Yes. Okay. If I not tell the Queen Obiaruku, we'll go on a body care. Abeongwa. She Yamanosu Okpala-Uku Bunadi Beluzo Chi Okpala-Uku Okpala-Uku Chine Okpala-Uku on the 29th of March 2025. She AJA Selusha Bokeyo Osmasi Onebu Ejima Okpala-Uku, she's about 100 years. Osumuwa ni oge Pama Isama. Osumuwa de mmeku keleni.
Pama Isama ọdịnihu na-azọ ọkpara.
So, ebe okwu bisa bụ ike do, ọ bịabepụta mfe ọmụsị anyị ka azọ si onye oru ni si gwa ya je ọ bụzi o nwere ife onye ka ekuzi ndị chenyere okwu na ọ bụ anyị gosi na tani ikeye uwe bụ ife dị wozi ndị kaka kwu ihe banyere enwe due process of installing an Okpala-Ukwu. All we should not be relying on affidavit from the court. Because if I rely on affidavit from the court, somebody can swear, can bring down his age or take up his age.
The addendum on Ajede is the way of trying to further affirm what you have said. Let me see the approach. I understand the predicament. But however, we have heard from him. I think the proper thing for us to do now, before individuals, we don't need to honor. Let me hear from Umusume. Let me hear from Umusume. I will need a single presentation.
Eboku Okpala-Uku Chairman for this last one. Osaincha Dunu Obiaruku. Onyebo Cheri during Agagaraga was suspended. Uchela Nesu Obiaruku. In fact, Osaimomo was suspended. No this way Agagaraga or Sunday no to us at that time. Agagaraga Amano. During that time, Umusume not changed to two places of Umusume quarter under the approval of Agagaraga as Okpala-Uku General. Agagaraga de Gari. Onyebu Onochezi Bonotuku. Sindo Obiaruku ni Jegwani. Where's the first Obiaruku community of Abiakwani the Kifa as Okpala-Uku Obiaruku. So on that note, what 10 people need to meet in a place. When the next way she as Obiaruku will attend at Bejegwani. They now set up committee, Okpo Twata, and only Chief Thompson Oshiri. So I got from Umusume to Umusume as outside those of Okpala-Uku people. Both Chiri assignment. We'll find out that Ituku, who was the chairman of Umusume at that time, becomes the oldest among from what 10 as people never know Okpala-Uku and the chairman. And then just one meeting, one or two places, they were. Now finally, Ocheri Akarika Okpala-Uku feel as abasi our cassette over a military Chinayamo. So we can swear in as Okpala-Uku. Umusume no people protested that since the man is our oldest person, went here Okpala-Uku. And also people did this with June I do the Okpala-Uku general and I celebrated it. Now Chera to I am and he resigns for 3 months. Palace ne resume fu we don't need Konye Okpala-Uku in the quarter. We suffer the Okpala-Uku general for 3 months. Palace will now resume. Only quarter Koluni. Chinu Umusume will look at quarter, only Koluni. Only the quarter level represented the Okpala-Uku age. Also, Amala said that do jazz. And had been Suji no Obiaruku community. If I know you now on the 4th from my dear senior brother, no again. Nebane Koku primary. So I installed Okpala-Uku general on the 4th. My chief who were fixing to never know again. And you win when you was on the what do we should talk about when I to meet was a great job. I have any bonus, I am not you back to our quarter. Oh, not to go, and the bonus like a job for Mugaru. Also, was one the jet one. I see the family. Information is power. When I go to the palace seriously. And it is actually on the 4th. So could you let us write a letter to the Onotuku General. That letter was dated 25th May. And the letter to Onotuku General copied on the chase and the secretary of the Obiaruku Traditional Council. One day, Tigani Mogbe, Ajamu, the secretary, no more the day, the former PDP chairman, that fair man, Opake boss, and I went to greet them. Now she said, look at what my people is saying. Was yes. So receive one later. She is going to meet Onotuku General, I mean the secretary of the palace. See, all civilian, she see the announce of Okuzu Tumwe the day was the issue of 4 years. So I'm going to be too good. Okay, he's here. My dead teacher is here. Coming over. On that note, listen, now, sir. Osimhen snapped the letter and WhatsApp to Onochezi. Immediately from that pioneer chairman's place, I snapped the letter and I sent it to Onochezi. Onochezi said our letter is belated. I said, sir, something that you're going to do on the 4th, and the protest letter come on the 25th. At least we have some time frame to call the town and discuss this to avoid trouble. Or see what was the age of our Okpala-Uku. You see, me solution cannot stand and tell you the age of our Okpala-Uku. That we will go back to the community. Immediately, I approach our people to Umusume. Or I can also more Okpala-Uku. So now age because never birthday. Today we are celebrating governor for 63 years. Oh my man for the age in that way. And I on 13th March 2026. 1926, sorry. I who is late to Otobo was born 15 January 1927. Immediately we communicate to Onochezi. Onochezi see Ochini in the man he pay. And the man swore an affidavit. It's okay. Come with the age the man declared during your court case with him. So that we can continue working in Shambo. He didn't disclose it to us, sir. Or the person the man was born 1926. Which year, which month, which date? Ogwezi. As okay, since we on the 4th, Umusume and Obigbe will go to that meeting and stop the installation of the Okpala-Uku as stated by them. The next thing I need to see when members were going to bring court action to stop it. They now candidly turn the thing back to the 29th of May instead of that 4th. And Wolo Okpala-Uku Nutie. And Yamariwa. And he came meeting on the 4th. And you have no trouble, no quarrel. Okpala-Uku na posa. And you can test. Okay, George. Umusume people now stood up. No. They need to change the appointment. Is it the way they do it? None of them stand up to say suspended. He suspended Ashimaro. There must be letter to the community that you have been suspended over this offense. One people say in our letter. Umusume say in our letter. And now the man has to say Okpala-Uku General. Super challenge judge. All people are say no. So I go watch it. Gwana ni elu ni this man Okpala-Uku. Also Okpala-Uku concern Umusume and no people can marry. Onotuku and better for J. I signed a committee. Not a call for job automatically. We have admitted that it's Okpala-Uku General. Leave this issue of Okpala-Uku. Guess you will tell when I'm going to no big bear. Why don't Gwani? Why can't you go many but you now stood up that day and move back to Umusume? Since this is what you guys want to continue doing in Umusume and Ogwezi, we are going to put up our own Okpala-Uku and we'll go back and install Ituku as the Okpala-Uku of Obiaruku. Because we are married what's in the master now. Our age of Okpala-Uku has been declared to Onochezi before that installation. And Ukwuani Local said, well, when you choose the give when you want to he's aware of our Okpala-Uku's age before the installation. He never disclosed the man's affidavit was sworn in the court to us. Now, so when I see the man was born 1926 January, February, I think I saw the man's okay now. But Okum said, so we believe that Kenya okay, and they went, we draw the date of the installation of the fort on the 29th of May. See how the fort were put. You have been waiting in this. You said what?
While you were speaking, I'd like to try to address some of the issues you raised to make things clearer for me. One, the reason why your four cannot leave. Because of the fact that when I pour this side equipment, you have addressed that. He also made a big weather on the issue of oil. Is it the position that because of oil?
No, that's not true.
I will speak to them.
That's not true. You call us last meeting here that Obiaruku should meet on the issue of oil, and the chairman should come from Umusume, and the committee should go and meet DJ. Till today, when it's DJ meeting, if we come up with the findings of the year, because the license will not go here now, and they are aware. The share what?
So the next point. Next point. Umusume did not attend that David's installation, but they were in Umusume on the same date. Yes. What would be the reason?
If it's the Umusume dedicated the previous Okpala-Ukwu, and he was heavily embarrassed that he should leave. Where to find Okpala-Ukwu before that place. So
it's a simple position. I need him to claim because there are great areas. I'm trying to make formal opinion. I'll share the reason why they didn't come is that the previous one was Ajede and Ogwezi was Okpala. That is his position. And the position of the other. Calm down. When you go after it. Sorry?
When
you were speaking, you said Iteku became the senior in the whole of hotel. Which period was that?
Between the period of Cheli, Agagaraga, who is the Okpala-Ukwu general, suspended with Cheli, who became Okpala-Ukwu general later, fellowship with Obiaruku traditional activity. Okpala-Ukwu general, Ebemewe. Then Scala group now form another government called Umusume, and all of them are aware.
But you don't know the date.
I can't go the dates, but it's not too long.
Who was the Onotuku of Umuzi then?
Onotuku of Umuzi na Esho. Yeah, Papa, sorry. So Onotuku general was Amudo. Amudo is Onotuku general. When Amudo now enter Okwa, the man was supposed to be able to go for course today was supposed to be Dr. Atakan. But I know the crisis comes, your Okpala put an analysis power to bring a Ugo and able to go for course. That is after the crisis of Umusume you are talking about, I promise you, Ogwezi happened to be representing the quarter as Onotuku. During that yes.
And
Onotuku was the deputy to Amudo. Ogwezi general now was the deputy Ogwezi who chief Emeriku. Why Scala was Ogwezi general of Umusume. Kekere was our Onotuku. Almost the general of Obiaruku. Why Kekere was Onotuku of Umusume?
That's this time you are talking about.
Yes.
The Tuku was the senior.
Ituku was the senior from Umusume. In what time? After the demise of Agagaraka, when we moved to Obiaruku.
Okay, if it was the senior after the demise of Agagaraka, if it was the senior after the demise of Agagaraka, when Agagaraka left, who became the Okpala-Ukwu general?
Ivan
Why is not to Ituku?
Yes.
When Ivan left, who became?
When Ivan left, at the time of Ivan, when Agagaraka moved, the Umusume where Ocheli now come, now resolve with Obiaruku. There are people that started coming at one. We don't know to who of his quarter and meeting them. So when the one now left, Obiaruku now come to Ocheli. Ocheli already settled to Obiaruku.
Ocheli and Iteku.
Ocheli Sine Ituku. He was suspended that time. He and Osai Momo. Yes, now.
And this is what I'm going. Most of those times are not Madame. Yani wena kwai. She okay and no kwani makama. Na bia isu Okpala-Uku every time. Men and women at their meeting. All those times when they are talking. But like we said, now all 1 year is the grudge. Because most of at those times Umusume no come meeting at that time. What we agreed at that time was that they should on 3 occasions that to resolve this matter, crowd were shouting, suspended. But we chiefs agreed that what would be the position was that she should write you, copy Okemo, so that you can call us together and resolve the problem. There was no time. He would say, it's just the last meeting that we came to Asaba. That was our meeting day. That was the only one I didn't attend. They cannot say people have not been coming to meeting. Even when our Okpala-Uku they know, and we came to tell them that Okpala-Uku is a guy. The main grudge. So I said, because if you can check in the cacao, or see how off phone, the next one of bomb, or she must be suspended. Now, I say, as on the your position is administrative. You are representing our king that's not in existence now. So there must be protocol in doing everything. In a it's about now why Umusume was suspended. Now why she was meeting that beyond. In what meeting did we agree that Umusume is suspended officially? Which meeting? Or Sunday chief, because I never took Boko. And then most of these chiefs were there when those matter was happening. Was thinking, did you suspend them officially? If you did you communicate to them? What of all people? He said it was an oversight. Today, on Echukmekpe, Umusume is suspended. I'm saying categorically here, that's a lie. The problem that what is here, and also no tuku, and then Umusume and also no tuku, and also opposition. Because when make it and say, okay, room in next 20 years, because I'm a solo age by age. But when we are doing this, we are supporting them. The Nukuni, and then the younger ones are supporting the old ones, so we can learn from them. But we cannot stay with the old people. They are lying in our present. These are just, the problem is just administrative flaws. So why we are here is to just correct them.
It's okay, you told him swiftly along the Osaka in front of the Pioneer Chairman's house. That this whole issue and this whole gang up against Obiaruku and Umusume is for your matter. From your vantage position as the secretary, is that the position?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes.
The position man will be using invectives against anybody. So we don't know which to believe. As the secretary to the community, even that time open first of the Umusume and so on, nothing like that took place. All the resolutions reached from then to now, they are in our records. It is also good that community sometimes should call me to open all these records for them to see all the resolutions reached. The day, that make clear that the day of Funum, other than going here, see, and I got that where I see, they're not by to a tear for see when we protest. And if you have protests, go to Tuesday, then you go to those. Those are the only people that can listen to you. That was what I told you.
You never told him that? Oh yeah. That's what I can go back into.
No, they are aware that it is because of 4 years. You see, therefore, no. Let me tell you, sir. Go put this in chamber, so on. Let me tell you.
Now, when you people suspend a quarter,
nobody suspended them as far as I'm concerned. They were contemplating on that. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Let me come. Yeah.
You make a point.
Let's go on the floor. Please.
documents Umusume was not suspended.
They were talking of suspending Umusume. The reason why you can suspend the reason why you never see why you debated the matter, see, she came more, we said, was settled with Obiaruku. Before we did about there, we have to Obiaruku, all litigations and so on, also that running Umusume approved to 1 day. And listen, after wedding the finishing federal settlement, up till today, Umusume about to go to the pool in Obiaruku, say, Obiaruku didn't solve the common problem. And I told we can go quarter by quarter. Umusume today, what do we put it to 1 couple? So, whatever put to canoe, then we're so preaching one, so I'll be ashamed. See, because of all your last, you power, what they are, some of the question go, I saw you enough, we should not there, so that Obiaruku can be comfortable with no oil. So, this was the debate going on when I was taking the minutes. Oh, put this Ichimo. It started from the time of Ogwezi, or sometimes even the chief, Ogwezi instructed them to fight Obiaruku, including solutions. Excuse me. That time, Onochukwu Amudo, Onyebu Onochezebu Ajuchi, I was the palace secretary. So, who came Gabia, I called Umusume, infection with memory care, or some other down. Ogwezi was Gumi, or she know, Umusume said, why I have him to this one, when waiting Mesumo. Pichimbo. A poor Kuku, very settled now. Then Obiaruku can achieve one more. Obiaruku, as the tradition is, and I did when later an invitation, originally Jenny Ejono, and I did Jenny Mumu. Obiaruku had made Buruku, originally Ejono accepted it. Obiaruku achieved one more. Eru Ejono accepted it. Eru Ejono accepted it. So, anything reaching more. Ogwezi was on suspension because Obiaruku Yereko shall you Kufa can to refill the money. Not for the palace secretary. The honorable. So Obiaruku just they told me to enter into correspondence with him, which I did. He refused to respond. So already he suspended also Sunday chief were meeting Obiaruku. So Sunday did the meeting. Obunda did the meeting. Scalawe also go for the chief. Umusume. So that session in Abia Egwai, that time Scala was always the general. So I'm Bernard suspending them in Obiaruku. So from there, Ogwezi started installing his own chiefs to prosecute this his opinion and position. Everybody in here. Everybody in the
You will be privy to. If you marry, they will tell you. Some things you will be believing that you know. Maybe during this conversation, you may know them. You will learn and unlearn some things. That is the process. But if he's talking, you shout. You lose the touch. You understand? The major issues, you have answered them. But you are addressing H.M. I understand that is an integral part of this discussion. But what I'm trying to beg you, sir, is to make your position very brief. Okay. So that we can progress with it.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. For that, we will send it from the job. The letter no go and the good job that it well. For a case well. It's your they were not aware. It's one of my therefore. Everybody now go expect chance on new work to see where you go, Ichimo Obiaruku. And I do a couple the reason. Also, Obiaruku with the money where you caught, or you the money was from there, we're making formal Akashada Aziz, Resunable. Work with children and so on. The children are many times. We see a concession for Chinaya, concession for Tanaya, Charge for Jetta, a cheap.
So after so many attempts to Abia, and after they failed in that this thing, neutrality in Bababa, he was not admitted to the community. So we never so it's about now because of that respect accorded to them, see where they will see them. They want to undo Obiaruku. Everybody is okay, they will go to the chimo. It's just for the album it's on the now. So que si Freddy can make it tell you, Obiaruku Mezu. Okay, see she can she went after that. That was where the resolution was reached, which is my minute. See, because organization when a see she can so never Okpala-Ukwu General Obiaruku. Like Achi, when you go Okpala-Ukwu dedication Obiaruku for some more. Based on that, those people were not present. Even if we were in itself, they called those people and find them. And when they are the it has been like that. So the issue of this Mambo Ituku was only one of the Okwas in Umusume. There used to be 5. So opportunity wedding the J meeting in Obiaruku when it's Kalawe. So based on that, I suspended Ituku Umusume. So Ituku was now coming to the palace, Agagaraga, but because of Fuzo, other one Agawa. So when eventually Umusume divided into 2, and in order to bring them along with Obiaruku, or if we can Obiaruku, other one Ejewo Kake, Osaimomo, or the Neje to it took not because it was the sin of because it was the sin of those people breaking away from Umusume. That was how we now accepted Ituku. So Ituku now became part of us until Wadam Metesi they now settled with our quarter. They now went back to join them. So when only joining for one member. So on the issue of this Ichimo of Okpala-Ukwu in the palace. Ogwezi see Ocheri Boke, Umusume and major raised objection. We debated, the whole of Obiaruku were there. So what made okay, so Ocheri okay. Then the resolution went into Sabo say, Umusume was okay, if they don't succeed in installing their own as the Okpala-Ukwu. They have succeeded in saying Yadine so the next person. So it was Okpala-Ukwu waiting as a result by the whole community. Yadi didn't the minutes resolved by Obiaruku. They were there. So in the never killed the objection no Obiaruku was not. But if they were part of that resolution, see Shiniketen the German phone on so in the line of succession. That was what is in the minutes of Obiaruku. She had the ratio. And nobody raised that objection. And you cannot wear that in raising a Shituku. Chairman, sir, I have to tell you categorically that all you are the 40 because of 4 years. When they use this for as a school, so this last meeting, when it's okay, because of 4 years, they don't come to meetings. If power if not to some position in the palace, we get but this one, no quarter is always invited by Jewel meeting and your marriage dog meeting. So but this one, so then when I don't have when I don't have coffee, in the letter. If not, I'm also in the book. I have and they want that in the some Umusume people who advise them during this time of 4 years say no, I know Obiaruku go fool, and if they will listen 4 years, I know what they or Sunday no. Then we will bring down auto. Why they have to make sure? Yes. Ask them.
It's okay.
It's okay.
That's all. What the time? But there's one thing you did not tell us before you don't go to school. Previously, how many years did you put in the secretary of the palace?
I am about 18 years as secretary.
Now, within the 18 years period, only suspend a quarter or whatever, or not communicate to them in writing.
I've never heard of CUS suspending a quarter. She can go secretary. If I say they suspend individuals.
Or you communicate to them in writing?
We will not tell the people say, oh, you're dead now.
Not in writing.
No, in the social, it is by representation.
So you see that?
Yes.
All right. I heard you clearly when you said that in those your meetings, and all this is the only your minutes of meeting.
Yes.
I heard you when you said that Uleris of on the issue of suspending Umusume and Obiaruku. There was no resolution.
Okay.
No, there was no resolution. Your minutes of meeting, was there a resolution to suspend it?
Okay. As far as I know, I took minutes up to the end of this debate. Yes. Where the resolution was reached, I think it was my assistant secretary. Yes, it was. Who will now have that minutes with you? That it was, the debate was.
You took minutes.
Yes.
And left the meeting, or you took minutes and sat down and shut your ears?
No, it was to be continued on emergency basis.
You left?
Yes. So in the case of Obigbe, sir, sorry, let me clear their case. Obigbe, we didn't have their meeting. But they have solidarity with Umusume. Even now, if I speak about their meeting, all this time, they say, Maru Muslim, Okpala-Ukwu, and also all of us in Obiaruku, all of them were aligning in this issue of Obiaruku. Then you said truth. The mix-up somewhere was that they were not there. They were not there in the last meeting where it was resolved that so day Okpala-Ukwu because they were not there. And the quorum was formed. They were not there properly. They were not there. And what if so big bird, they are thought to say, we are just
saying, no, listen. Beyond the fact that we were thinking about that day, they are saying that they were not informed.
No, we don't inform people. We have a date for meetings.
The date you did that swearing how did you convey? How did you convey this?
I think it was a tough meeting, and so everybody was expected to be there.
The date to the swearing in of the Okpala-Ukwu.
Yeah.
Was it a date set aside for the meeting?
No, it was not. It was a date for emergency meetings. Yes.
Who conveyed the meeting? Did you reach out to them?
The meeting was conveyed by Ajede and Olotu. So I was not in the meeting because as a civil servant, I was away. Yes.
Give the microphone
to Umusume. Ife menini oge ye kaparu ka le bele ye ko si we ko joku osani ko fu obe apo gada oje bo no se no ku le bele Umusume na bia meeting and I na bia meeting even this ke yi ke we online iwo je na ni ono ine belu watching there YouTube and ye na osani ni also okay I need the meeting waba achi mo ke no ba kunu ba chin nda ka ni dia achi fo ke ba chin ne ati be na ne ke kwa sho e ju ni akwa ife me ni Umusume sina ni ba be na Umusume don no ba ko no yo ji ni ko no ne Umusume ni go ku di te to e ka ti no o kweso ni na yin be what my kaya meeting on 4th as more and sign up there I be do on 4th no but okay be say banya dey maso wait for no bala I didn't know and we didn't know that they do need your bala na why can I do ni can I do almost I can I do ni division dey almost I can you say so be you when you see na to go for odo abe lu on 4th odo me wo lẹ́yìn unfortunately the meeting ka dey man so tie for and I go so need get there we see what the church ya be no be ti sale be no yi on e kusa nya na bia meeting si ko ba nya na to kana ni die parate no na na ekiro le ko anya na ewule gai na na man le gido ko le ko what I can don't you don't say gbogbo ka ke chairman na bia father e go ne de twenty no ke ne man le gido ko so ju ko we te me ne kujo India ne pujo. Wala ka. Kena le mo ye lo yun so go. Na le la sisi ya di le no.
Okay, Orotu.
Wali ke
Orotu control.
DJ.
Orotu ne evere. Oge we don at the door. Nde Ogwezi. Wenye ketie ochili. Lumo Ogwezi raise objection. So I have also ochili. Did the meeting.
Adima.
It's okay. That is the business of meeting. He didn't tell founder the attendees. Was he in the meeting?
Was there now?
Never did the meeting. Okpala DJ.
Okay.
Okpala-Ukwu DJ. A month, because I know it. A 3 months, because I know it. Okay, no, I didn't do it. So Okpala DJ. For 3 months. Meeting I can't get with that on 4. Can I take the meeting? On those on 4 to know, even their trials are born in some 4 to swear the committee and he do and he ate. Or no 4 to know I didn't meet a much with him.
How much we do in 29?
Only go to now. Well, to some photo, when you look up say, I see other cow. Yeah, when they got that. Go to the Kuno Command. Or you Luigi. Maybe not to cook Luigi, about Luigi, about Palan, Command.
I want me to, and I mentioned
they are come. They are going to make you man. I want me. What I can do, cannot handle. Get it. Oh, boy, you know, and you go for your boy. I tell you. The other we wear. Oh, boy, and then your boy. But I knew how that could not say this. No, you are with the what do you do? What do you bet with where the Umusume? But I need to go here. Need to go here and I'm finding. I need to go in Kajaman and you will.
Yeah, well,
I could go on doing. We're here, not anywhere.
I'm going to say you by the understanding. I want in I have a oh, go put a caps and other than oh, can they do? She knows it's a book. Major not trying to I can say the minute for that. You manage it. Umusume, call down when you manage it. Then look at the broke see when you can maybe fail. Manodica, Mabo, you know, I can say that. Okay, yes, I catch you. Okpala. I was locked out. So many was yes. Now, we didn't was offer. Remember that actually. Or to do the match, you finish my mother, or if you're not to the man, so I expect that they should apologize for me. Because I've spent my time and my money. They should apologize for me. Now, can I make a question? Oh, no, I don't know. Also, I don't mind if I got all you when I can't was or shall go. And I'm only formula. I know you. You know me. Yeah, I need a brother. Oh, you baby, brother. Go round the Kuruna money if I was so you bear. Dikonia. The chairman. Ukwuani or Sunday now, so you know they suspend you, they should apologize bitterly, fully, never enough, and to go to the Okpala-Ukwu and apologize. Carry me. Umusume Abola, Obiaruku Okpala-Uku, who never many without authority there. But we absolutely the level, we didn't be a poker, absolutely in the man, we didn't be so I like my money. Okay, which I didn't have Okpala-Uku. But it's all. I will make you know this road. In all local, and she know the most through the palace. Can she not look as he can there? Why would he get a refugee? What are you doing? Everywhere. Back to the coconut, I will not take a go. Ekman, I say, John soon be go. John soon be go.
Now from the principal actors that I know you nails or winning some comments before I will hear from some of the opinion leaders invited. Then we'll fly straight to get a position. But I can assure you that I will try as much as possible to ensure that all of us are in the success now happening. Then I found the reaction of some persons. Our quarter. Some of the story now they take by the because of the fact that we are not able to carry everybody along. There are some few players not able to play this game. And by the grace of God, we will try to do that. So we will take, in no particular order, we will take some few comments, but let us make our speech very brief and go to the point. We have been here for some time. I didn't know that he cannot bring with it, but I will make position for food. But however, at the end of the day, we will try to do something. So let's take a few comments. Sheba.
I want to be very brief and straight to the point. Because this issue, one was also Kunana. Obodo been very hasty in their decision. First, from the suspension, which was not even also communicated by writing, even when we have a secretary. And secondly, the HM. It's expected that after the 3 months has expired, the committee will meet, which is supposed to be on that 4th, and the issue of who is going to succeed the late one will now come up. And it will be deliberated. Not that you will now pick your phone. I'm not it's not the way to install an Okpala-Uku. So it was very shady. And even in doing that shady thing, you didn't also communicate to them. There was no room for them to come. Because the fellas we had is it was injunction. Then you now hastily go and do it. Now, I think that the right position to take is for Obodo to look into the matter actually and take a position that will bring the entire community together and not allowing the sleeping dog to lie the way it is you succeeded, stay on your own, while this side will stay on our own. Because the long-time effect of this separation is not now. It will come later if we don't agree. So, Ishoku Dunimokukeni Bosheni Obodo took a position that is very hasty. That is my own suggestion, my own view, because I've looked at the matter, and that is my conclusion concerning this matter. Chairman.
Okay,
Yes. Thank God we are here. The recommendation is that since they have an Okpala-Uku, they have installed an Okpala-Uku, the traditional way they used to do it is, since there is a protest from a quarter, okay, then Wadije Yeswe Ligbechi.
Thank you.
Fambo Chief Azuka Esemike, member of Ogwezi. Ejoku, Obodo Kenana, Ele chairman Boni this petition meeting Ejoku, and Boni Ibrahim Ejoku. Nimoni Bomalebu. One Ejoku Okpala-Uku General, she stands so okay and you pa Davidson Ucheli. All these faults bidoni. Because I need to be chief and correct some certain errors. And
okay, Chief.
Let me just
Chief, the problem is the problem is very clear. So you can allow to raise the problem again, but just go straight to what is your view? How do you come out from this?
So all the Boshe Obodo Yonel also Bodo Kenini Yone Umu Ogwezi Yamoku seniority person. And then Anamaro AG Okpala-Uku Keke affidavit to General Kerry Agent Anamaro. In Umusume no big bear. The unity meeting. Also, Bodo Kelizunezu, Omonye objecting Onyabu Onotuku, Chief Chekem, Bonya Nishini, Dabi Kenekumem. She ma Malifo Obodo, Malifo direction. She Okpala-Uku General, she no instance, and that was the position of Obiaruku.
Thank you. Please give to the next team.
They cannot handle the to be they cannot achieve the they can end their youth OCD. Many will turn up on the chief, Collins Hidam, or Kusos of Losa, quarter. Because I was many mission, and a Polish can go in any show. Or Munofipi will be cook said, we became any Obiaruku. Because I was in the mission to cook so pick up. Or sometime my war. Si Okpala-Uku General in Node, even though a quarter step, Okpala-Uku in quarter in Node. Ndokwa, the Okpala-Uku Node. Then go General Yana. All Node for Ndokwa, Ndodwa, and Node. Warina Mare, Oye Sony, Ibewe. But no Biarabo. I have 13 quarter. But I was at the important that they would say, Okpala-Uku Nabia Palace. Okwa Nabia Palace. Dike Umusume. All they go to Okpawe Nabia Palace. Oh, big bag, but in the mayor matter because we one time Okpawe in Nabia Palace. Even if I'm not marry only Rooney. Okpala-Uku Kenny Kedi. Because so good now you are okay now. Many if you say we are trying to come okay, Papa, she came by a bull Solomon down, or about him more. Or Chim more, this president of Okpala-Ukwu na wengi kuke mwe mwana taka. Itiku na wengi kushi tuku papam sona. Family mune papam soni tuku. So if you are pushing many women are talking about loss in Penyabo. I need in order from our boiling. I need to send
Chief,
sir.
You know that I don't want by your contribution to cause more trouble.
No problem, sir.
You know, if I'm not there as a chief, they could buy Sonic to cook it. They are going to
oh, I know, sir. Especially pushing I go advice in that matter, sir. You will be with sir. So that also pushing when go qua. Now their palace.
I agree. That will form part of the recommendation for the restructuring of the car.
Yes, sir.
I love your contribution, but in the present circumstance, what is your view?
Okay. But you give me the thing about say you can go. Que mon go Canada. Going the gang in all the quarters. Go set for the page here. She will push him to no be declared. So we will say for one council. So that when they were in Malloy, only son in Bay. Okay, can we head to the car?
Thank you.
Sherwood.
Give to
Ani da nimena kete shi meeting kenebu meeting issue like the 10 years. If you take the chairman of this local government, no be a magician person. Elan you go kunda na issue kudu na person. There's one point you can start the comment. A point again. Obiaruku na. I am say 13 quarters. It actually could do that again. We will refer back to that 5 quarters.
The peace in Obiaruku is above everybody, including me. I know what it is. But I can also assure you that what you are saying is not something that is not practical. But the way you are put it is not by training. Because the place you are standing now is not the palace. You can say, well, I'm looking at issues that are the bridge of peace. I call you people say the way this must happen. Don't give condition. But the diaspora people, they will do their presentation here. It is part of the paper where this institution had made restructuring. Those of you who went to the meeting convened by the President General, I think that the Professor Kecha, where everybody, one of the things when I recommended was that, but we will look at the possibilities because people also have their views. So I'm not somebody that will just come and begin to do things by authority. It is this togetherness. We will look at our areas of strength, we have on it, and look at our weakness, we abandon it and then move ahead. Or maybe work on our weakness. So please, your language, you moderate it. You want to do something.
Now, presentation on the end of the day, I'm shaman, she's going to get his son again. I'll watch him more. That's in bed, could I check out the day? Also, my chairman.
What's the way forward?
The way forward. Chairman, the way forward in Ukuni, because animals in within the 5 quarters, only about Okpala, each of the quarters, I'm not only about Okpala-Uku from there, and animally,
Thank you. Tobro no ni kero ni we. Chairman, I ni kere kuma ina kwani keketa. Ishoku ife kana bi fe ni kosi no tudu go. Yaki ni ko sa ni cha. I ni no kere ga go ku oshi ni. Nebo Okpala-Ukwu dey. Onye bo no chezi. Apo e kwalo go ke time to time. Ko Okpala-Ukwu ni ba pala so Okpala-Ukwu. Olotuku Umusume deba, olotuku Ogwezi ashine. Ni kuishi kaku fi shoku, kobro di nudo. Ni shoku di fobro la di nudo. Oso egwa na ina ba lebini, osa yin cheke bewela. Oge onye bo chirije baba ye, ofufi dele na bi.
Olotuku, what is the way forward?
Ife meri ni kita ni bo. Elewe meme, bo ele no de ni. Adi Yesu ibechi. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, sir.
If I can borrow, I saw that Boshi Kaba will increase and personal interest powerful Burundi. Overall, Abu Sweat and Shun Achashi Yume. Now, finally, I will down. So, if I tell you, Osa come not and be, can be managed in there. Now, the joke with you. Osa no to know cannot park no water. I'm not watching. Or chichi. As a level to see chief, that was not from okay, man, the chief. But now, a joke with this one. Come a joke, girl. Okpala-Ukwu Umusume. Ordinary word is okay, attack. Ordinary okay. There's been many that cause to this problem. She the same up the youth leader. Actually, break up who can Okpala-Ukwu Agagara to federation. Tell the girl, I like Kashada as they pay me. That thing cost us a very big problem. That's a pushing, if I don't have us now, a very big problem. Hey, we're going to see the question go. Hey, can you one of the baby? Unfortunately, I didn't be able to tell you I didn't be able to offer Kashada. They were all for people, a shop for, a pump, a pump for Kabuku. And a man also for any Kabuku. She has decided to offer some of the very who put her, I was in the book on them, Mamma, a size room or what an amount. Only tell you that she has to see pressure to see that way. Now, it may be. Igbe nata early Friday wa idebe chair ile awo gbogbo de ku kita na ti we week put forward be deme ni egbe mi ni se we ke mi put forward be deme ni akasha. Where is the unity and the symbol of unity but for Can I echo fire bill? Can I echo fire bill? Tell them you need to make a shit. You go for some man to go in. So, my chairman, you are who get it. You don't have to. The boy don't look at it. I can walk for. I think I can say. Honor for Jenny. Honor for Jenny. You do not go for the family. What a different woman. Family not to my The way forward. The way forward. The way forward. Also, Jimmy, we are doing the thing for this way. Every women, all the women, Chairman.
Well, book you have was on just no Garuna. If you did, you could be accurate. Bununai, Namu, if you go, she, if you did let any posa, and will let you in the Jibule. Equal Tanisha Bow. Every day, you will have to lie with them after you feel that many. She Okpala-Ukwu in there. I put it before you give she of the not if you know she were. And I got it where I just speak with you. No, yet, but you can win so. Everyone was better some now. If you only try to go so case or Yakoka for. I think you're pushing off for she off Kayato, even I didn't even know. Indeed, Chaba for you. Yes. So, man, you need to read about I should good level. I will look at someone who will get to say, yeah, and everywhere in the morning. The room my solution to look at Ukwuani share value.
Enough on that. Obiaruku Okpala-Uku, and actually any kind of division. I see it could be what she felt was such a one. So one of those that are supporting that also, there should be unity. The chairman didn't go. So upon what you get there, have a question who do bad day, Kakul Sean will addition. Be that as it may. Okune apẹrikọlọ wọle òní kóbodò adi ìṣúgbé òbodò di ìṣúgbó lẹbẹ kóbodò ìṣúgbé ní ìṣúgbó lẹbẹ nàdá nkpọkpọ mara kpara ọrụ ka níbi nìyí onye bụ odekarị Obiaruku enisiwori kọwa mitini ife azụtene n'ọgbakọ anyị n'eluwe ndị dotene. Anywhere dinner, no. Caution she cannot be forward willingly at that particular time. Oku ilokum piobada. Okay, when after when I saw the former Okpala-Uku, okay, the former Okpala-Uku, Onyebu Pa Ucheli Davidson. All the show eveniku, Sheben when not door. Onye so na so kendani kweni ni osebata du ne ba ebe ko no ni conclude shi oche ni bo okay ebe ko no ni fo shi ni wo question afọ eso maro ebe no question ni mara ebe ne bo shi oche ni ni doro shi onye na so adi ebe no ambele ko so fo gide pa so ebo maso de we kushi obu gbe ku fi ebo maso ibe so obu gbe so this matter eba ka chishe ife bada igwe okwoku ni mpotu maro na tuye she quarter eleni go battle. We are now in Delta State. We can't go back to Midwest State. We can't go back to Midwest State. And actually went to Egypt to Ajede she never know possession. We have taken a chairman when 2 or 3 are gathered together. God is present there. Vox Populi, Vox Dei, one number one to win Latin Ebony, Chukul Ebony. Ebe Akeje, Jacomo knows about that. My submission is that first, the incumbent Okpala-Uku, the one in question now, when the battle one now, anyone she from the submission of the Secretary General of Obiaruku clan. We don't know where she is going. Kago Fukinunu. Absolutely sweet machine. Was she called to a swinging? Davis no changing no all the willing. They should also use the method, not going to other gods to invite other gods. Or do I be a Jew? I'm for a bush left on you. I don't know or no. Is
the next Okpala-Uku. And then that was done and the report was given to you. And you know report to be able Abula found me a case with the report to go where you need case with. So, German don't go back to that report first. Abula found down with the case with the Sherman.
Thank you.
Chairman.
Heshin Okurebe. Ofu Keni. I'm in sympathy with Ndobube. The Olotuku has told us one of FIFA. All the way to the channel on Ebene. Oh, everyone actually match for one. One more was a city of Ebene. All the friend one. I saw me, and we have to come more. Two, Okwacho Foku. Indicted, she not could have poor, she can. Indicted, Umusume. Suwa, quite too many. Yabushi, Allah. All that, what I was aware I went to Nagawan. Allah building the camera. They indicted Umusume and the week this way. Now I don't know. Because Unuwe may be free. Put them into consideration. Two, the Kayano, or some challenge the Venomous of the moon. I was born 1934, 22nd April, Monday, watching Utakono, because my grandmother was Utakono. Listen, Ununepo Pibeshi, Unwi Colobia, Umukush, no for no more, it okay, no Kumaro. There's no sympathy, no, I don't know. Because you Matana, Bumuni, Obiaruku, Matana, Bunyo, Monyo, or Buki, Simoni, don't we look at man? Unupura Chico, Ani Kaka, Asonso. I'm always telling my family people, some of them are here. Take my young. I'm 90-something years now. Even I took a moon, I found some kind of young man and young cardio. Who for no, not Taiki, because, yeah, I'm not in support. Well, I tell you what it was open in Maro. When I get here, so no was in Maro. Because, listen, can't we say, because, now listen, then I need a good. Then the sorrow they are listening. I got you leadership. I got you leadership. Well, no such a music no more folk are to get the catapult. Or folk are community. We should be united. Because the chairman has not was our motto. Please. Madinero Muniti on Loco, Yeti. Batano, Mweni. So, I don't know about it. John, not to quality or no to for an off-road, not with you, not to have sympathy with you,
But the problem is that I didn't make comments on it. I saw the pain with which I protested that even though they could on the show they team as Urugaga or another somewhere made comment. And he also said from even where Chief Big said there were never a time when they suspended him. The palace secretary said he doesn't have that in his paper. So we have noted that at the sovereign level, we will give direction to all those things. So that let us have people make. So those who have noted it, we didn't push that aside. Because I like the fact that you were able to speak out, even naturally, so that we can address the whole issues together. So please, is there any other person that wish to?
So the solution, that can be true. So my contribution, I think is sweet bechi. If you're trying to carry out your say, no Umusume, big baby, go Obiaruku, aside Jesus for the baby. Before the maybe what each one is of Okpala-Uku, the next one Okpala-Uku Obiaruku, Yabo Adibeli, the Kewa Wekuni. When they are age, When man in their age, when man sharp the nest, Okpala-Uku can in GJ. That was my contribution. Sure.
Thank you.
Then you not to go big. So in embarrassment. Oku Ochika. Oku can open show in embarrassment. Oku can open in the Banja Memini, Ejeken.
Are you speaking for the community?
Yes.
You are go.
Are
you the go?
Yes, sir.
No, you are not a proper position to answer that. I will hear from the community. Also, money must be a good person.
My chairman, solution Ejeken. All different documents, dollar. Kijin upsetting committee. No, what I got to take one time. You lose the book with the back, book with your putting over the neck, and you can only we put in Aposa. So, in the scenario, use your power. Anything you may touch you, Jay, about them, what can get all over the neck. Question if I would but we should share. Now, he will not walk away the share one.
Okay, manage as a community to see where our lapses are. And see how we can continue. Because in future, in the near future, maybe after my term, we may not have an Obiaruku chairman. The chairman that is coming will have community social there, and he will set his priority. But I know what this kind of problem is capable of snowballing into. That is why we are trying to do it on the board. So let us hear from the diaspora, their submission.
The truth of the matter is, there are two problems here. 2024, our sons and daughter came to this town. We were meeting in the town hall. At the end of the day, they went home and started thinking, why did these things happen? They started probing into the system and came to a conclusion that they're going to get involved in our administration here. Doing what we should do for us. Therefore, now from that diaspora, start working hard, looking into many things. Some people are against the people right now. It's okay, Allah is among you and Nasgo and Solomon. Can you please be helping us to some information, get work together? At the end of the day, that's where we are now. We met with you severally, and we are going to make history today. Your decision is going to be history making. Because you've seen everything, it's in your hand now. All the Onotokus here, all, we had meeting with all of you. But they say break down the communication. Some meeting, as you tell you, go back to tell your people what we met, what we did, what we said. You will go back. And that's why we begin to go front and back. The message is not for you, it's for you and your people. If you told them, some of these things will not bring problems. Sorry, I have to say so, that's the truth. Now, we are here. I know for an Ajede. The chairman, Ogwezi. Today, there are two things in for. Use your paper. The onus is on you. You've gotten the whole thing. Do the needful, make history today. And peaceful should be peace. Blame which should be blamed. And take a decision that we have been binding to all of us. Share value. First, in terms of whatever they are with you. So we don't even know where. We never live in it. Never live in it. We don't live in it. Or sign live in it. So they are with you in spirit and everything. If you became chairman, and man was there with you. What week was ago? What I know we get to, but what he was an enemy. Of the king sign, because you know, the professors label, doctors label, what Fenefia, Umusume gone down. So chairman, only so you take a good decision that we bind it to all of us in share value.
One way forward on the Oko this order of protocol, the very traditional council there. You see, actually the traditional council when they lay down rules, because when she in form of a constitution, she if you can made they lack a man, when you can major, they lay like a sir. What I can made they lack a man, because I believe Obiaruku money 13 quarters, and all of them the autonomous. This autonomosity now cause a problem in Obiaruku. So the issue, Osho Sacha Kaburu
one uniform challenge wey constitution dey kind of bind the 13 quarters so that Oshi Umusume with their constitution can dey under the constitution of General Obiaruku. I think that is one of the way forward. Then two, our traditional system. I remember she Mpongo traditions are different in Obiaruku. I know I spoke Makashada. I know I spoke Ukpemiri. Most of all these people we are not. I know spoke tradition together. In the problem na any time because she waga come or something like that. I never now she Osan Chabo for Osan Chabo, but traditionally Osan Chabo. So that can make streamline the one tradition so that everybody will continue to respect each other's tradition. I think when we start to respecting our traditions, there will be peace in Obiaruku. That is true. Then three, we are talking about reform. Everything Obiaruku needs today is a reform, and now the 13 quarters of Obiaruku. Because some time ago, I was in the office with that reform paper that was prepared by our people in the diaspora, and they had meeting. Severally, Onotukus went to a meeting no could have reform. If there was no trouble standing with that reform, if I told no go. I think we more time when they were signing or pending their signature on that. And then you know, after pending their signatures, we now affect actually some other people because you know, Congo understand the difference in the reform. And in Congo, we change back to their quarter to actually different many, can you so we have to read out the form and the way forward all you are saying is the content of what it is. So on my own, adding the position Shuwa Jesue Igbechi because there are other means of knowing seniority. If we go to IJ medical way, I believe when the JTNA, that one will be better than sending somebody to brave the share value. Well, heard from you. Like I said, I'm holding there some opinion leaders. I would like to hear from them. Then we'll try to look at what we have. Oh, I'm going to be very brief. So please give the listen to Mr. Fred Smoke.
Femeni nibo ekufu ifele ke ku ade manegba rali ni ku bazu de ke ekufu ife maru kufu ebo ma fumata ke ni ku ifele mi nibo a natural solution ela ni shi pusan ku de o ga joko jibu apa ebu igbechu jeri gbogbo eni obara ni obi we dey sani bu nere joka ni Fred mo ni ke musuechi na wasi gbeche ku so Fred aga be nation. But if you Bushi, I can do Umusume. Umusume should be friendly. Umusume is a part of Obiaruku. But why didn't you make us a part of Obiaruku? Now the thing is now affecting Obiaruku. Obiaruku made a decision. Every time we Okpala-Ukwu nebe, Obiaruku put mind on Ebele, Okpala-Ukwu nebe, Ekunatum and Papa Ronnie. We were running as about every day. Not just as simple as we said it here. Obiaruku made. How can you settle? Now, if you're not pleasure, and I gave you the they are always pulling out. You will not know. You will not know. That man, I do a second, I bought a part of Obiaruku. Also, part of Obiaruku, and when we tradition, that man, when we tradition, instead of giving it out, or whoops, I will we born one of the leak away. So, next step, we will get a what can I say? Otherwise, I go on in the village, waiting Okpala-Ukwu, Wazowa, whether the area chief in Okpala-Ukwu, or whom I now act as deputy. Can't knows of Sana because he joined Yamalani. Then we met us the family, the actual Bidoji, can you quench it, can you be doing all the man? And you don't make a religion worker, Obiaruku a religion worker, Obiaruku a worker. These people cannot help Obiaruku. Let's be frank. The unity in this place, that's my bullshit. We have a lot of political leaders coming out from Obiaruku. They're not in order because society is moving. And I get a Obiaruku. And the community can go to Obiaruku chairman. As Obiaruku chairman, I for this kind of meeting. So now we need this unity. We need this unity. Obiaruku, I'm sorry for them because they are new in the system. It's a new clan, a new clan. All our clan, but the administration is new. So when they came in, called by it, but because they're very close to Umusume, they always listen to Umusume. When we go back about the full age. So now you're signing charge to become all Bruce wait here for Okpala-Uku, let Okpala-Uku remain. Anybody who is deputy, let him be deputy. We respect all of them. I'm about the administration were rushing. Instead of 4 to I got 29 because I'm making for money for a Badije court. Every single court to make up to the fail. Make up for a Badije court. Keep on suffering people like us. And then you go there to Badije court 10 years, 9 years, all them now. I'm going to say court to a guy that's rushing. They take it up and otherwise, what stop them from waiting, patiently waiting? Let us hold a meeting like this and we decide that this is your Okpala-Uku. So now you're signing Chabikoni. When we get into court, no problem. Before we say, Nika Kwani no will get in the for court. Now don't know chairman Bigo, Rory, is in a million, go in the Kufo Soviet anyway. Of now we can call it. Nothing, I won't have opportunity to say what I'm saying. Carry Obiaruku. Imagine Obiaruku, remain Obiaruku. Obviously, I call Obiaruku. Make your own community. Don't become a journal, don't become a job, don't become a Mwebu. We should help Mwebu. We should help all these villages. Share
Ben l'Égypte, effort on a sauvé les Guaré, niveau de chairman, bon niveau secrétaire. Because Ebony Zuzu, a watch. Fishing the Guerrero, Shinaka for Fashino Gate here. Anything concerning Okpala-Uku, Watana Kataya, Wamaronyaboki, Eju Power. But if you can see organic non-permanent, no, a big winning mayor, we look at them. Then they could service in Bachi. Then they can remember the bouquet. They don't give them the bouquet, but based on Bachi. Open shop on the tier. Open a Badichaman body, a Moran, H. Akayan job, okay. Because in Nago Bononi, or Satu Mufu, or Soda Mufu, Omo Ketini Mayer, Nanago Bononi Swastico. Where Tiaka, Kobrukan do. Okunu to Okpala-Uku or ending the Bochiketel. When you were getting to I swim Bachi. Bachi. Oh, you okay? Bachi. So, oh, you okay? Yeah, I don't know. So, very good. And you don't be sure to knock it. Shagwa.
For the meeting so far. I will invite some few persons. We'll just talk briefly. And then we'll come back and tell you what we're thinking from all we've said here. Now, like I said, that I invited some few persons here, and there is the reason why I invited them. I wanted them to where you not have view different from what you have. I did not want this kind of issue to just sit down, to begin to listen to everybody and then on my own listen. I will meet with some persons. Now the first name they is in that Okpala-Uku are those people in that committee are inserted in 2021. If you will just join me outside. Okwa J.O. Osekene is now late. Who was the chairman of the committee? Engineer Loke Sumiki, OCDA chairman that time. I think Obiaruku. Chief Cheke Dafe, If you see her, you just be moving outside, please. Men of the Megu. Mr. Fred is moving. Chief Azaya, Mr. Mike Ombolu, Mr. Mark Steven, Chief Dixon Odogu, Mr. Rob Chisomo, Honorable Amitaye Azumike, Honorable Ojilu Kenneth, Honorable Frank Elevazo, Honorable Dennis Kabi, Honorable Keros Olugu, Chief Olefele Odu, and Mr. Alaya Support. To join us is Chibedi Ken and Chief ESLF, the Secretary and the President Council. I want one person from diaspora to join us. The next person is coming to the We are not used to documentation with greater respect, because I've been told that there are some communities, immediately a child is born, wherever the parents are in any part of the world, they communicate back home, and they will tell the oldest man in the family that I've given birth to a child. You will pay money to the family account and give them the date the child was born. I was told that that practice is in Umusume. And that practice looked like a good practice to us. So in order to continue to resolve this issue, because I do not know the decision of the community in time to come. If the community continue to rely on the autocratic system of government, it therefore means that this issue of synergy will continue to happen. So in order to cure it, we have resolved that from today henceforth, every quarter, every family should have a proper documentation of every child born, whether in diaspora or within the country or within the family, so that we can have a register where we will be documenting them. So that if the person grows to a stage of Okpala-Ukwu and they cannot talk, or is losing contact with a lot of facts, we can now rely on the family document. So please, I want the Onotugus to begin the implementation of that, so that in future we can begin to clear this issue in the event that the community is still interested in relying on the autocratic system of government. So please, it's a matter of direction. We are directed to start implementing that so that every family can have, every quarter can have a register where they will be documenting every child born in the family. We will ensure that the committee will be set up at the end of this whole process so that we can follow through, so that we can cure some issues that may arise in future. Now, we have listened keenly to the beautiful submission of everybody. In fact, some of you will attest to the fact that today's meeting is an exposition into some things we don't know. A lot of things were exposed during the course of this meeting. And majority of the recommendation, having identified the major issue, which is the issue of who is senior between Ayavoru and Pa Ite-Uku. Majority of the recommendation here, which we noted very well, that a lot of us are saying that we should rely on the traditional means of proving who the senior is. The council noted that. But you know, in our working documents, we do not have that procedure, even though the council would not want to set aside a kind of work against what our people believe. We know that there are conventions and practices that the communities have adopted from time to time to solve issues like this. But as a government, what we believe in is that when there are offenses committed, what we do is to first report you to the police, If it's something that ordinary person can do arrest, we do arrest and hand you over to the police. Police will begin prosecution and arraignment will call investigation before arraignment, and it will continue like that. In this instant case, the council at first was confronted with the issue of who do we now say that is the chief offender, where we know that this is our oldest eldest male child in both quarters. As it is today, cannot properly now begin to tell the stories of their life while they were young. So the only thing the council could rely on, since we cannot call out the spirit, particularly the Ikpechi that was recommended there, since we cannot communicate with Ikpechi as it is now, otherwise we will have directed the oldest people here to come communicate with Ikpechi and report back to us. But since that cannot be done, the council deemed it to fall back to the document the committee headed by led by or second, where he headed the committee and the document was done in 2021. We are going to release those documents today so that those of you who don't have the photocopies can have the photocopies and keep it for posterity sake. We look at the document critically with the team that were selected during the course of this meeting. And the only thing that could happen to us is that the way the committee did their work in 2021 was very, very clear. We do not need any soothsayer to interpret the document to us because the wordings there were very clear. Along the line, too, some of us will find that the cheating could be the way out. But I know the troubles we went through in 2021 when we wanted to talk about the issue of Ikpechi. It was only very recently that we that presided over that event in 2021 could manage our conscience, because at this stage some persons felt that our decision of allowing Pa Egunatom to continue to act as the Okpala-Ukwu then was against what they believed. But until we continue to interview persons who were able to stumble upon a conversation between the Ogwezi of Obiaruku and Chief Solomon Moore, where Chief Solomon Moore admitted that truly that Pa Egunatom is the senior to late Simon.
No, not Simon. I think it's Simon.
That Chief Solomon Moore admitted that in 2021, in all of those struggles we did, that truly Pa Egunatom senior Simon.
No, it took you.
Because Okwike we fear
hello
on the Tuesday. I wasn't what to say. I don't want to speak in error because Okwike we fear and the government part of that. I flew past our palace because I'm in emergency to be able to find out because last time I went to the book 8 was sent in committee from council. Some of us were not happy with the situation because of the film that they don't know. And so okay. But it's very fortunate that Okpala-Ukwu during 1913 and even he came when the governor of Okpala-Ukwu was born 1921 and 22. So on that note, about the legacy, what Okpala-Ukwu said is a capital lie.
It's a lie. 1910.
Okay. This one, this is too good and Otobo. And this Otobo, Mwaya, Umadu, the person because anything that we looking at mass in the Basana is our Mona. So we were able to call the senior son of Ocho. Also, for the January 1927. Therefore, then we took almost in March 1926. So that's the birthday.
Therefore, only no punish 1913. Those people are alive. Do I say,
I mean, as in the committee, the council. When the former official chaired the committee who possible settling. When they were verifying between the two, another aside Momo and the van. I said aside Momo light. And that day some of us were not happy because he came with the level of the power of one. Never contest.
Mauro, even as a council chairman, there are areas I'm not doing well. When people criticize me, I want to do just prepare from it. Now, the report is here. The committee members have authenticated that report. I'm going to hand over one to the committee which will duplicate and give to all the notables. I want to also hand over one to, I don't want to divide you. You will duplicate this and give to the notables. You understand? I'll give one to the last one. OCDA. So OCDA, please, you give to the youth. You give a copy to them. You can share it. As at this morning, I couldn't make that. Then which other team again? I think that's all. So now the report of the committee. Because of I've been speaking, I will get somebody to read the report.
Age differential in Obiaruku community amongst the Okpala-Ukwu in council. Introduction. There has been a lingering misunderstanding between Obiaruku and Umusume voters, all in Obiaruku community over the Obiaruku seniority between the two Okpala-Ukus of both voters. E.g. Pa Jacob Ebunato of Obiaruku and Pa Rodik Oliseyinum Osalo Momo of Umusume water. Osalo Momo. The controversy arose after Pa Jacob Ebunato has been recognized as the Okpala-Ukwu General for Obiaruku, which has led to the suspension of the monthly stipends of the Okpala-Ukwu of Obiaruku, pending the determination of the matters. Based on this foregoing, and in response to the state's comments directed to the
pronouncing the word as they are.
93 years. The age verification exercise was carried out in the presence of the committee members, Okpala-Ukwu Council, Olotuku, and some other committee members of the voters. Recommendations. The committee, having analyzed the issue and looking at peace and unity of the entire community as being very paramount, do hereby recommend that 1. Let there be a town hall meeting where the 13 others will be represented for reconciliation. 2. Umusume community should be pacified and asked to return to join the rest quarters at the central meeting palace of the Okpala-Ukwu General of Obiaruku. 3. Chief Friday Osogwe should be replaced by Umusume community, preferably with their Olotuku of Umusume or his representative at the Obiaruku General Palace meeting. 4. Let there be a continuous central meeting of the 13 quarters at the Okpala-Ukwu General Palace. Analysis of the data. 1, that is names, we have names, quarters, date of birth, age. I think that's all I read. Okay, order of seniority. 1.
This you want to ignore stands for is that this committee, what they did was to begin to arrange. Okay,
number 1. By Jacob Egunatum. Number 1.
I think it's late now.
Water. Umusume.
What you do, just read the names. You have given the dates and the data. What is their recommendation according to what they can follow activity?
Their names are as follows. That is in order of seniority. Number 1, Pa Jacob Egunatum. Number 2, Pa Running Osai Momo. Number 3, Pa Oloye Onyenenwe. Number 4, Pa Mwabike. Number 2, Pa Running Osai Momo. Number 3, Pa Oloye Onyenenwe. Number 4, Pa Mwabike Okuchukwu. Number 5, Pa Adwaye Achidime.
Okay. You will be doing the name and quarter.
Okay, name and quarter. Okay, I should continue from. Pa Adwaye Achidime Umu Okpala-Uku Okechi. Pa Davidson Ocheli Okuzemeke. Pa Thomas Osai Christian Ozebosai.
No.
Late. It's my person. Late.
Stephen Azonobi Ozebosai.
Alive.
Para Nsama Nwabuwe Obiugbe. Para James Opikilu Umusume.
Alive.
Christian. Para Okpolu Gome John Umusume.
Late.
Para Johnson Onumadu Okpala-Uku.
Late.
Para Ayohoro Bobson Ogwezi.
Alive.
Chief Itoku Daniel Uloko.
Alive.
Pa Chimoku Ofili Okpala-Uku.
Chief Pa Chimoku
Ofili Okpala-Uku. Pa Sunday Omolu Ogwezi. Pa Solomon Idama Ozebosai. Pa Ozu Ekule Ozebosai. Pa Okoloja Michael Okpala-Uku. Pa Francis Ojibi Amalama. Pa Obu Gabriel Christian Umuzo.
Alive.
Pa Joseph Odumedu Tikanye.
Okay. Once if you follow the document, please just listen. There are about 55 persons that the committee have arranged in order of seniority. What it means is that honorably, there should be no issue by virtue of the ascension or the position of the Okpala-Uku. The document will be made available to you. You can study it. You see that it's quarter by quarter the way they arrange it. Now these things were done in 2021. So if somebody was 80 years in 2021, you can do your addition to this point. So that's how the document is. Now, when we peruse through the document, we find out that the two persons in contention, the person of Ayaboro and Paiteku, the date when we were in the is 1928, 1926, 1926.
28.
They told them 1928, 1928. Now, even in checking 2, you will see that when I asked the committee member to explain to me if two people are born in 1928, 1920, without providing the date and the day of their birth, how do they arrange Ayawaru to come before the Telco? Now the committee explained. As against the situation that over 1 year, I don't think so. Name cannot because of 1 year also. I will jump the next recommendation asking that the Friday of Ogwezi should be placed. I know well. Which Friday of Ogwezi? There is no sacrifice that is too big when you are creating peace. There is no sacrifice. And it doesn't remove you from your position. Many one of my friends, Nekwe Moto, and the police will stop them. They park in the vehicle. The boys may go and simple council chairman. I can maybe check it. It's not worry because we check it. We check it and you will not remove me from council chairman. And when I check it, I get very much to river in Japan. We need to lose the council chairman of one and come and sit down. Men, what say you say? You don't see them. So it doesn't actually remove you from being a council chairman. Okay, no, that is too far. There was one issue that happened. There was a judgment of court that stated that I should mandate the Treasurer of Council to go and give income and expenditure. As a council chairman, when I came in, I understand the workings of the law. So what we did was, we had gone to the legislative house to give income and expenditure. That is the extent of the publication the law asks us to do. That when you are spending, you must show what came in and what you are spending. We even took that to the receiving center where we call everybody. I begin to quote the amount we use in awarding the contracts we awarded. Because the truth is that the money they are sending to Ukwuani is not possible like this money. What we are doing is that we are holding in trust for Ukwuani. It is not true, my God. So when the judgment came, because when the paper came, I gave it to my lawyers to manage, and my interest was that whether they simply go give account to them, then only why you worry? Just go and be doing the matter. And when the thing came and said, you can't give account, everybody around me, this one they call me, no, chairman, how can you fuck off? Why you allow the government? I said to me, it gives me further opportunity under the law to show account of stewardship. They are saying, go and talk how much you receive. And what are you catch the ground? I'm not going to do. Don't worry yourself. And I communicated to the house that I'm coming. When they received the letter, they seem someone that say, no, they don't see this kind of thing. And no, I'm very chairman. I said, don't worry, I will come. And I went to the house. Almost 100,000 there. I went when they say, in the month of July 2023, 100,000 received. We pay salary, we pay tax, we do this and all that. And I took from the year money till when I was doing that. After I did it, I left them. And the judgment of the court said, go and publish, we publish, and put everything and sent to the court. And the court saw what you did and said that all the football work you can do, that what you did is something that people should emulate. And they gave judgment that they have vacated the team, that they are just worrying us. And people again started complaining. And many things to me. I told them that let them not worry, they don't join issue with the person. When judgment was given, I didn't have the contact to procure judgment. When we perform what the judgment, the order of court has said, I said, don't worry, we'll take it through the legal proceeding. By the time they come out through the Cyber Crime Act, Because over time since I came into council, our approach has been gradually talk to each other. It's not by using power as somebody suggested that use of power. It's not power. Because what the more years I have here is 3 years. So I don't use the powers. It's a friendly thing. It's a friendly thing. If you need me to join you, I'm going to go cheap when you want to. If you need me to join you as council chairman, as an electoral son, I will join you before in that capacity. So let us go and appeal to them. Because we only know them more. They need to tell them exactly what it is. It is on this note, in everybody. Now I'm going to say, we have said a lot of things. We try to put us together with the community leadership and some of our big brothers that are on here. We announced the committee that will help us do those reforms and carry on in the short time. She really looks at Yamashi. I will change your report. Let me hear from the community because a polling share.
And one more, you say chairman, Ufuboko, Eboko Shini, Evan Noshino, but also going to gain and then go. But I may lead the community. We did have 4 years not to go do bad. Now, not to go Umusume. And the DJ, but now I say, she will not know. She can go better. I can make a little swim. She fell down chief was but also put us as so, Chief Okwachi, me na Sasha. So if you don't know, when that one was on Friday. Friday, can I have banana? Well, Friday, Friday. Yes. It's too far. It's too far. It's too far. Okay. We have to see on Monday. So on Monday, I am there before also when the chief of police. So probably find I mean ne Onobigo ne onye kweli ka na show iṣẹ́ bayo
Ogu gedi gabani kwe kodo osaife nilu chairman kweli ayi ndu Umusume do bi bana man ayi ne to dai ka ayi ne to ifu kuna na no adle chono iṣẹ́ agba the two communities nínú kí tukú àkókò fún ọba kí tukú iṣẹ́ ìgbàlá 10 o'clock on Monday lẹ́yìn sí gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ ní tukú ọba kí tukú iṣẹ́ ìgbàlá.
Yàrá ṣe ọ́pṣọ́n márùn sí ilé kàkọ́ ọdún lẹ́bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ìkó iṣu òmìtì ọ̀rọ̀ àmọ́láṣọ́ ṣe ẹ̀chìndò mẹ́rin ẹ̀chìndò fún wọ̀ta ẹ̀. After the vote, I will find a date to host. But I'm afraid after the mandatory, we will for the chairman maybe because not support to this thing. For some time, I'm not going to the community. But I understand how the voting is. But I want to take the two sides, both from Umusume and then the rest of us. But for let us start unity here. I wanted to
see if I did in Equipor. If I can opusu. If I did in Equipor, when you lend Yamashi, Ellen went to the neck all day. No, didn't walk in only anybody chairman, chief or second. I was sorry before Rudoni, Yakade Yuzukite. Gosh, she every 4 years,
or 2 years I can review naga na ede efande ikedene so that all road go Okpala-Ukwu aba na-enwe problem na na-enwe problem ka igwe but na agbosa mba na si problem Obiaruku nwenu ba no Okpala-Ukwu so asofufu and if edele ke meji we makodele chairman set na ya
Mbele wuru elenode in office as the PG of Obiaruku community ike were oge kene were do ụmụanị ọdụ maka ụmụta rekereke okwu n'inwani ọdọrishini Chineke to ne ofozie dịka ife chairman kunisi igoshi wena nobere na-ata aka ike we mare ogewe monowe so ki were your office ki yeshuwe okwu ndụmọdụ
ife ka agba sa igoshi ko sa youth osa shishi bụ mama mmarụ ko bụ mgbọtọ mmarụ bado na-ata aka unu ni mare ma be kwifo oni mare ko arbe malata aka nala na agwa shio ejoku normal nke gwa mmarụ kwuchi fedele ni bi achofu kuma ni ayashe ibeku budi na ario na agwa saikolo do Obiaruku si maruba ege ekpo ekpeshi bayite n'okwu ke na agụ ebe na be adine idinu Umusume o idinu Obigbe o idinu Okuzu idinu Umwedede o idinu Ogbo Obiaruku osayin bo fu maruba ekwu anye nwefu ụlọ Okpala-Ukwu udadi fuori sayin che ekweri fu so onye no bia wo bise ne ba nwure de ka anyị bi ele anyị na-ebi aswa n'ife anyị na expecting isu ka karị ndene so mmadụ be chi ikpe ile na ma onye jebe okoro iburu ya chigochi kedi ka ịkọsụ problem n'obodo bụ problem ka bịa wee tụmishi ikwu ya ekekwu ikwu ni so biko ni wee ji okwu obodo na emile na ma okwu obodo eziokwu pụsa n'ime ya bụ ndụ ya na-ewesi udo so dịka eleketa eziokwu pụsa na anyị gwata n'ibe nye eziokwu onye wekpe ni wekpe onye ekekpe ni wekpe onye ka arịa arịrịọ wadị asawa onye arịrịọ elenukwu wadị so udodo biko ni bechiwa n'ikpe shi agwara
yo
Thank you.